welcome into the DNVR Avalanche pregame presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when you sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boosts every single day. I'm your host, Rudo, here with AJ to talk about, let's be real, this is a pretty big deal game if you look at the two teams on the ice.
Yeah, it's about as big a deal as you can get for two teams who have played a combined 62 games.
Definitely both ends on the lower, both sides on the lower end.
A lot of postponed games between these two clubs.
Yep. So,
but
it's still left to go. That's fair.
Yeah, and it's like, look, this is we're gonna talk a lot. This is gonna be measuring stuff. This is gonna be important. This is big. You want to see where you stack up against one of the best teams.
Yep.
So do they. Both teams going to be motivated. They want to know. You want to know how you measure up against the best.
Yep.
Right now, there are 5 teams in the NHL with a 700 points percentage.
Avs are one of them,
and these are 2 of the teams.
Leafs are one of them.
Yeah, these are 2 of them.
The entire Atlantic Division is the rest.
Yeah, right. Like it's 3 teams from the Atlantic Division, and then Carolina and Colorado.
Yep.
So, no, John Klingberg's not very good anymore.
Y'all, he said who it was on Twitter.
Yeah, it's out there.
So,
my weird love of Luke Shen has been outed.
The truth is now known.
Yeah. It was funny. There were some visceral reactions people were like, no! Like, okay. I told you it wasn't that big of a deal.
Feel how you want to feel about it, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think biggest game note here is that no Mitch Marner.
No Mitch Marner in COVID protocol for the Leafs. That's only really the only significant guy missing from either lineup. Avs still without Nuke, but not a top line level kind of talent there. So, which I'm not going to get into how people feel about Marner because we don't need to go there. But yeah, it should be a fun game.
You mean like the player?
Yes.
Are there person issues there too?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was like, if I missed something big on Mitch Marner, he's sort of like their targeted guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He makes too much money, and despite the fact that he scores 90 points a year,
people find a reason to not like him. Yeah.
Okay. Well, postseason has been kind of tough for them all the way around, right?
For sure. Look, some of those reasons are probably valid. But, again, we're not going to go too deep into that. Looking at the Avs, I already see people calling for the three-headed monster to pop off again tonight. Should be fun. Hockey game.
Yeah,
one way or another.
These are 2, and we'll get there. These are 2 big-time teams here.
That between the 2 of them, you're talking about players that are top 5 at their position. Both teams have multiple between Mackinnon, Makar, arguably Devon Taves, Austin Matthews, John Tavares, Willie Nylander.
Yeah, Willie Nylander, who's their leading scorer, by the way.
Yeah. Willie's been nuts this year.
Yeah.
He's been nuts this year.
It's funny because when he signed that contract, there was a lot of like, oh, he's a good player, but he only gives you like 60 points, and now he's a point per game guy and making $7 million. You're looking at him like,
come on.
Do you think maybe the overpayment of Marner by about $2 million and now the underpayment of Nylander might be like $1 million-ish or so? So they might end up right where they should be overall.
I think it probably does just about even out. For sure,
I think it's pretty close.
Yeah. So,
but no, they're great, and I do think that you do want to see some sort of a response here, right?
Given they got 8 goals dropped on them in the last
8-3 game where Jonas Johansson had to play last second. It was the first game of the road trip. Darcy Kemper was expected to play that game, went through morning skate, and then was out.
Yep. Extenuating circumstances there for sure, but still, this team knows they got 8 goals dropped on them.
They do, but you also remember, like, there was a brief moment in that game
where it looked like it was going to be a hockey game.
I believe it was 4-2.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And it started to look competitive at the start of the second period and partway through the second period.
Yep.
Before everything, before they all turned,
fell apart. Pumpkin.
Before they pulled away and it was over. But
yep,
I think that there's a distinct possibility here that this has game of the year vibes going into it.
For sure.
Kind of like when Florida came in, where you're like, hey, these are two really good teams, and that was
they both like to play offense.
Yeah, that was a fantastic hockey game.
For sure.
And I think the story around the Leafs this year, obviously everybody loves the meme that they can't get out of the first round, and they find a new way every year, and they finally go up against a team who isn't Boston, and they blow a 3-1 lead against
Montreal.
Absolutely hated Montreal. Yikes.
Not a great look there. I don't think it wasn't a catch, but
yeah, agreed.
Anyway,
but the Leafs, it's like, look, they look different, a little bit different this year, but
I don't even know if it's look, it's feel as anything.
But how much is Jack Campbell? And this is where we haven't. Jack Campbell is a .939 save percentage right now, which, if it holds up, he should win the Vezina, and it would be one of the best regular seasons in recent modern NHL history.
Yep.
How much of Jack Campbell's
is sustainable
excellence
here, really
is papering over some of their problems?
On paper, you look at that defense and you kind of go,
It's got some solid players to it. It's not. I don't think it's a bad defense.
It's not bad, but it doesn't feel like
Morgan Riley's a one-way player,
right?
But he plays the hell out of that one way.
He's great at what he does, but you're looking at that as their number one guy, and you look at what Jack Campbell's doing, and you're like, can Jack Campbell keep doing this with a defense that is good, but is not bailing him out of hockey?
Yeah, I mean, like Riley and Brody and Muzzin.
And Muzzin has regressed quite a bit this year.
He's not the Jake Muzzin from his LA days, right?
Exactly.
Where he got to go to the Olympics because he was Drew Doughty's partner.
He just happened to play with Drew Doughty.
Right. Where it's like he was the Devon Taves before Devon Taves. He was the analytics darling and the guy that was paired next to the defenseman that everybody loved.
Super sound defensively, yada, yada, yada.
Did all that. Yep. So, but yeah, I mean, Campbell has been great. Like,
yeah,
Campbell
taking anything away from
sure. Campbell has been unbelievably good.
Yep. No doubt about that.
Also, like, when you get elite goaltending, you get it just makes life so much easier for you.
You look a lot better no matter what. Yeah. When you have that level of goaltending.
And the thing with the Leafs, though, is that they don't really, you look at their team ranks and things. What's their weakness?
They're all relatively on the top half of the league.
It's a second ranked power play. It's a 9th ranked PK. They're third in faceoffs just for funsies. They're a goal scoring. They're a great goal scoring team. They've been very good defensively. They're getting elite goaltending. All three levels of their team you can look at right now and say, this should be good enough to, no doubt, get out of the first round.
Sure.
But then you look at the Atlantic Division.
And it's, even if the Leafs win their division, you're looking at playing a ridiculously talented team coming out of the wild card of the Atlantic.
If they were to win their division and it goes Tampa Bay and Florida 2-3, they win the first round. They get out of the first round and they get Tampa Bay back-to-back champion, or they get Florida, who's easily one of the 3 to 5 best teams this season so far.
Yeah.
Like it's a, that's a tough go, man. Whereas you look at if Colorado were to win their first round, say they win the Central, and they get out of the first round, they're playing Nashville or St. Louis in round 2, like
maybe Dallas,
a good team, but not Tampa Bay or Florida. It's a very different road for Toronto this year, and I do think it's kind of funny that like they finally are legit, but now once again the teams around them, like Boston, finally falls off,
but the other teams Florida on the up,
It's kind of cold-blooded, but I do think that this Leafs team is, look, like everybody hates Toronto because of the attention that they get.
But they're legit.
And
I think
you know,
they're legit.
People calling it the hockey mecca, and it's whatever, right? Like it's the center of the hockey universe, if only because they insist on
being
that way. And it's incredibly annoying. Nobody likes that part of it, right? But as a hockey team, they're fun to watch and they're really good.
Yep.
And if you could just get over the whole Maple Leaf stigma, they're a really good team, and I'm really curious how this goes today. I'm excited for this game.
Yeah,
this is one of the games that you circle
fun hockey game.
at the start of the year. You circle the Vegas games, you circle this, you circle Tampa Bay.
Yep.
And then as teams emerge, like
Vegas.
Florida emerged, and it was like, okay, well now the Florida games matter, and the second Florida game ended up being
fun.
A great hockey game. Can we get that again?
Now,
especially with the end
result.
result.
In a heartbeat. Yeah, take that in a heartbeat for sure.
Look, they could play a great game, and I would also not be opposed to returning the blowout favor. You know, like it'd be fun to just be like
popping off either way.
All right, say something. Jack Campbell goes from a 939 to a 932 in one night. All
right, look, the real story here is neither of these teams have lost in 2022 yet. So tonight, one of these teams will no
January
longer.
8th.
Yeah, the Avs are 3-0 and the Leafs are 2-0 in 2022. Not a whole lot of games played there, but one team will no longer be undefeated after tonight. So that's just part of the equation. We've already talked a little bit about this, but again, just to reiterate, I'm trying to think. I guess Avs Tampa games in years past have had this much talent in it, just as a whole.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But there aren't a lot of teams that have this many elite players.
Yeah, I mean, you go and you look at. We kind of touched on it earlier, but I mean,
the list just keeps going.
Austin Matthews, and with no Mitch Marner, it hurts a little bit. But you know, Nylander is kind of like Landeskog tier, where they're both point per game guys this season. But in previous years, you would probably say that instead of the A+ tier, they're like maybe an A- tier player. Sure. The land of the very good, but not elite.
Yeah.
And then, you know, obviously JT Matthews, like the centers involved.
They have two 1Cs.
You have Nazem Kadri, who's been in the top 5 in the NHL scoring for a while now. I don't think he has any more.
He was. I don't know if he is after this last game.
Yeah, it's all the games played has really like the Avs not playing for 2 weeks has kind of jumbled things up. But the points per game has been crazy. I mean, Morgan Rielly has been a really productive defenseman. I say really productive because on the other side you have Makar and Taves who are just blowing things out, and Bo Byram.
Well, and you have Byram, and then not quite a rookie still, but Rasmus Sandin is the young defenseman on the Leafs side that is kind of a stud too. So.
Yeah.
It's you're looking for soft spots on either of these teams, and you're like, you know, there really aren't very many either way.
Yeah, so. it's just the big question is like Darcy Kemper, right? Like you would say Darcy Kemper so far has underperformed a little bit, and Jack Campbell's probably overperformed a little bit. If they get a little bit closer to even, if they each go the way that
regression says they should,
yes. I definitely think that you're talking about a dead heat here.
Yep.
I think Colorado's defense is better top to bottom at what it does if it's fully healthy.
I would agree.
Because like a Murray, Eric Johnson third pairing is something that you can live with when the top 4 is
just all stars.
What it is.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So it's definitely... It's stacking up to be an extremely high talent game.
Oh, God.
Disgusting.
That's fine. I'll take it.
Disgusting.
Just coughing too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot to get water on the way in. All the Broncos fans.
Yep.
I saw all the fans and I was like, oh, God, it's too many people.
Get out.
Yeah, that'd be great, honestly.
AJ out here ordering meals.
Yeah, it's not like that. He asked.
But yeah.
I mean, I think when with Kadri, you also have the former Leafs factor, right? Like there's the
the X team going to come in a little bit.
Yeah,
there.
there's a little bit of that feeling where there's that little extra, that little something extra that guys care about.
Well, and the other side of this game, it's in Colorado, so we know how good the Avs are on home ice this year.
Yeah, I think 9 in a row.
It's 10-0-1 on the season, I think, something like that.
Yeah, so pretty good in Denver.
Yeah.
And they have been. I mean, remember last year going into the Vegas series, they won those those 2 games. They had something like 19 straight games they hadn't lost in regulation.
Yep.
Thank you. Until Game 5 of that series, like they've just cleaned up. They've been unbelievable in Ball Arena, and that's a really big factor going into this one. This is a tough task for Toronto just for that reason, that the Avs have been
so
insanely good.
Yeah.
Although Toronto, you have to think, felt a lot better watching the Avs top line go
off last night.
Ham 2 nights ago.
Get it out of their system a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And be like, all right, well, that shit doesn't happen twice in a row very often.
We'll see. And it could be interesting. I ask you this. Who is each team's X factor in this game?
I mean, it's the easiest thing in the world when you have 2 offensive juggernauts
Superstars
going at it to say the
goalie. Yeah.
It feels like the goalie, but if I had to pick a skater, I think it's, if guys are meeting expectations for Colorado, I think it's Sam Girard.
Okay.
Because his ability as a defender is really underrated.
Sure.
Because of the way that he gathers pucks in, makes quick decisions, and gets them out of the D zone immediately.
Help prevent some of that Leafs onslaught by doing that.
Exactly. Yeah. They won't let him get in. And then I think Newhook is another really, really good answer here, because he can sort of tilt the balance where
you get beyond the top 6.
You get beyond all the big money, the all-stars, and the accolades, and the guys, all the Olympians, and you get into the depth guys. And you do look at a guy like Newhook who is on the ascent and right now has low second-line center production so far
as
this
a
year.
third-line center, essentially.
As a 3C. So I think those are probably my X factors in Colorado. And, for Toronto, I don't even know. I wouldn't even.
It just happens, yeah.
I wouldn't know who to pick for their X factor. It would be the same guys, right?
It's gonna be like Jason Spezza or somebody. Pick a third liner that you like. Basically,
it could be Kerfoot.
Yeah, Kerfoot's not a bad answer, but kind of the same category there. I feel like Nas might have a monster of a game. He always has a little extra spice. Definitely, It's funny, right? Because someone like Nas going into this game, and you're like, you want to see him pop off, but you're also in the back of your head is like, please don't do anything stupid.
Well, and I think that's the Kadri conundrum, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Is you're always like, the guy rules. You love him this year, but there's just always that
in a game where that notch is turned up that extra little bit. You're like,
I will say he's done a great job this year because teams have gone after him.
For sure, they're trying to goad him into it.
Exactly, they have tried to raise the temperature of games intentionally and have gone after and targeted. Hey, can we get this guy? Can we get this guy in a scrum? Can we get this guy to do something a little extra? And he hasn't really, outside of the Binnington thing where he just skated by and made fun of Binnington's girlfriend or something.
Binnington was way more mad than he was.
Yeah, exactly. That's way more demonstrative than Kadri skating by and being like,
whatever he said.
You have ugly toes, whatever he said to him.
Facts.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really it. He's really, I think it might have honestly helped him to get that one last big suspension out of his system and say, I just can't do this ever again.
Because now he knows that the next one is
done.
Yeah.
It's enormous.
Yep. So maybe that did help. I think that's a good point. We don't have Blais on the show today, so we're going to have to muddle our way through some bets here.
I honestly hadn't even touched it. I just got here late because I've been dealing with roommate stuff.
Clearly you've had some other things going on.
Yeah, well, in the update to the roommate saga, the other roommate is now decided to move out. The second roommate has
now
decided to move out.
No one's going to live in this house
because
by next month.
he hates the third roommate so much that he was like, he initially earlier this week was like, it's fine, I'll put up with it for a year and then whatever will happen, right?
He made
it 2 days and he texted me and he goes,
I'm out.
I can't do it. I hate her so much. I can't. And he's living with his girlfriend now because he hates her
Just
so
to not
much.
Be in the house.
He can't even physically be around her anymore. Yeah, it's crazy at my house. It's like 20 degrees outside and it's like negative 40 inside my house. It is icy in that house right now. Well, so anyway, I haven't gotten to the betting. I'm sorry.
You know, it's going to be a high octane offensive game when the over under is set at 6.5.
Oh yeah, I'm a little surprised it wasn't. They didn't go all the way to 7.
Push it to the 7.
Yeah,
that'd be
absolutely.
Avs are pretty significant favorites in this one at minus 165 with the home ice advantage. But boy, Mackinnon plus 150 anytime goal scorer.
I mean, he has 4 goals.
Yeah,
but he did just score one. You always want. He also just had like the most dominating game of the season that he's had.
5-point night.
So you start to wonder, is that the beginning of him like kicking down the door and demanding?
Gonna take what's his.
Yeah.
Yeah, not worth it. I'm not taking Berkey.
Berkey at half a point at plus 135.
No, it's
I
minus.
think.
It's minus.
Minus.
Not worth.
No. Yeah, I wouldn't take that one either.
Let's see what else we got. Well, that's really Berkey over 1.5 shots. It's minus 135, but you're asking Berkey to hit the net twice.
I can dig that.
Don't mind that. Tays, over 1.5, minus 185. Not good money, but decent a hit. Got Jack Campbell, over or under 29.5 saves.
Over.
I think the Avs are going to put on a good number of shots too, so that might be a decent bet.
This is another one where power play points for both teams.
Yep.
If you can get, I don't even care what the odds are. Makar power play points, MacKinnon power play points, Matthews power play points. It just feels like those are absolutely going to happen.
They know it too. The best you can get for power play points is JT at even money for over a half a power play point.
Even at like minus like 130 or 140, I would still consider putting, because it just feels inevitable that
that's assist.
That hits.
Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. Austin Matthews plus 165 for a power play point. Free money.
Feels free to me.
Yep. So
the as bad as Colorado's PK is, and as good as Toronto's power play is,
you know they're getting one at least. Yeah. Just accept it at this point.
Yeah.
Goals for EJ. Makar will be playing 2C as soon as Jean-Luc Foudy's ready to play defense for this team.
Oh, so tonight? Serious question. Jean-Luc Foudy on defense or Ryan Murray?
Oh, I mean, today, Ryan Murray.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think he's washed?
I think he's kind of washed. I just think if you YOLO Jean-Luc Foudy on defense today, it'd be a disaster. Give the guy...
Maybe not against Toronto. Yeah, maybe when Arizona comes to town.
There you go. Now you're talking.
Let him break it in a bit.
The longest odds you can get on a goal scorer anytime is probably a bunch. Is Justin Hull even healthy? Is he playing tonight? I don't know.
Yeah. No morning skate means that our lineup guesses are just guesses.
We're just guessing out here for sure.
Yeah, I saw the schedule, no morning skate, and I was like, I wonder why that is. And then me being an idiot, not realizing the game was at 5 p.m., and that would mean a 7 a.m. morning skate. I was like, okay.
All right, here's an interesting comparison. Both plus 850. Eric Johnson or Curtis McDermott.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
I don't know how those guys could have the same odds.
I don't
to score
either.
A goal, but
yeah, I don't either.
Byram's plus 450 to score a goal. That's always a fun one. Tays plus 400.
What's Byram for a point? I don't know that they go that deep on points.
I think they probably didn't go that deep, yeah.
They're going to have to start, man. He is... You know, he didn't... do you think he had a great game the other day?
I thought he had a good game, not a
I thought it was
one.
solid, and he had 2 points.
Yeah, I know.
And you're just like, what the hell, dude?
And, like, yeah, it was a garbage time goal, but you look at the shot, and you're like...
Well, and you remember he hits the post earlier.
Yeah, yep.
Where you're just like, dude...
Is this guy?
I'm telling you, man, he's a superstar.
I'm here for it.
This is not... I don't think Bowen Byram is like... Hey, he's a pretty good young player. I think all the talk about Moritz Seider and what a great defenseman he is and blah, 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 that's November shit. That is straight November energy. And by the time we get into games that matter, nobody's going to remember what a Moritz Seider is, and it's going to be all about Bowen Byram.
Bring on the Bo show.
If he did not, if he had not missed so many games, I would seriously be pushing the Byram for Calder conversation a lot more.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm all in on Bowen Byram being for real. I'm all in on it being him being completely legit.
I am here for
real. Like, that dude could have a hat trick in a game this year. It would not surprise me. He could have a 5-point night. I wouldn't blink. It just, I don't know. I don't think he's got the kind of unlimited potential that a guy like Makar has.
Well, Makar's literally like the player of a generation.
Right. So. But I think that, like, could Byram be Roman Josi? And the answer is yes.
Here for it. So glad they benched. Oh, you're memeing on Nemeth. All right, got it. Roger. So you showed a 2 at me. Does that mean super chats or something? Oh,
it's game time. I mean, we got to get out of here.
It's like 7 minutes till puck drop, but yeah, it's time to leave. Thank you, everyone, for watching the pregame show with us. We will be live postgame as well, so be sure to tune in afterward, no matter what happens. If you need a way to find the game, go watch it on YouTube. Steve Dangle's doing a watch along. Highly recommend those. Those are fun.
I miss when we used to do watch alongs.
I'm bringing one back. Like,
it's just been such a long time because our schedule got screwed.
We had 3 planned in the 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that they canceled.
That they canceled all the games.
Yep. Sorry, fam. We're gonna do another one here on YouTube very, very soon, though. Looking forward to it. Hope to see you all there. We're gonna go watch a hockey game. We'll talk to you later.